Dear students and my teacher friends, Namaskar. I welcome you to the presentation lecture on ear structure, internal ear or the inner ear. So today in this lecture we are discussing about the internal ear, also known as inner ear, learning objectives for this lecture. So in this lecture we are going to describe the structures of inner ear. So the components of inner ear, what our inner ear is made up of. Then we are going to discuss about the bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth, and we are also going to compare the bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth. Then after that we are going to discuss the hearing mechanism, how we hear the various sound, okay, which are the component which are involved in the hearing mechanism. So these components are cornea, which is involved in our hearing process, and how this cornea is involved in the hearing, that also we are going to discuss. So now starting with the first point. So internal ear is also known as inner ear, and the inner ear, where in our body the inner ear is located. So inner ear is located in the temporal bone within the petrous part. For example, in this figure you can see this one is the temporal bone they are showing, and this we can say is the petrous part of the temporal bone, and in which the inner ear is located. Okay, now in the petrous part of the temporal bone, there are spaces or cavities. These spaces or cavities are known as bony labyrinth. Labyrinth and integrate maze-like passageway, meaning of labyrinth. So in the inner ear, bony labyrinth present. So in the figure I am showing you, let me show you this figure. For example, over here, see, in this figure, entire inner ear they are showing to us, and as you can read this, bony labyrinth, okay, semicircular canal. So here in this figure you can see this 1, 2 and 3, these are three semicircular canal, bony labyrinth. Then see, cochlea, outer region, outer part of the cochlea. So cochlea, so this portion, okay, this portion or this portion, see here it is written bony labyrinth. So this one is the cochlea, this entire structure is cochlea. So this is also a part of bony labyrinth. So here now I'm showing you this entire figure. You see this figure, okay, and here the key is given. So they have used a pink color for membranous labyrinth and the yellow color for bony labyrinth. So over here, see, so this we can say this part, this is the bony labyrinth, okay, and this pink color portion, this part is the membranous labyrinth. Okay, so once again I am showing you this entire figure. Okay, read all the names in this figure. See, figure 16.25, inner ear. So all the information you read. Okay, now second point. Now this is the second point over here. See, within the bony labyrinth are membranous fluid filled tubes and sacs, which are known as membranous labyrinth. So what is membranous labyrinth? Membranous labyrinth is made up of a layer of cell, and is and this inside this layer of cell a fluid is present, so it becomes fluid filled tube. So this fluid filled tube are known as membranous labyrinth. So let me show you once again. For example, these are the three semicircular canal. So this pink color portion, this part, okay, this portion, membranous labyrinth. In cochlea also, this pink color portion is, we can say, is a membranous labyrinth. Okay. Now inside the membranous labyrinth, receptors are specialized type of cells. So inside the membranous labyrinth, receptors are present, and these receptors are involved in our hearing process, and they are also responsible for the equilibrium. Okay, so in the membranous labyrinth, what is present? Receptor cells are present. They are involved in our hearing process and also responsible for equilibrium. Equilibrium means balance of the body. Okay. Now the third point. Now see the third point. Now the space between the outer wall of the bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth is filled with a fluid, and that fluid is known as perilimb. Okay, so for example, in this figure here you can understand, this is bony labyrinth. Okay, and this pink color portion, this part is membranous labyrinth. And now if I give you fluid and I tell you to fill this sac, then when you are going to pour the fluid will move over here. In this space the fluid is going. Okay, similarly, if you pour a fluid over here, so the fluid will enter this way, or fluid will move in this direction. Okay, so we can say the fluid which is present between the bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth, that fluid is known as perilimb. And this perilimb, composition of perilimb is similar to interstitial fluid. Now what is the role, what is the function of this perilimb? So see, outside there is a bony labyrinth. Okay, inside there is membranous labyrinth, and in between these two, perilimb is present. That means perilimb protecting membranous labyrinth from bony labyrinth. Second thing, the perilimb supports membranous labyrinth. Okay, second thing, supporting membranous labyrinth. And third thing, suspending the membranous labyrinth. So perilimb is a fluid, and in that fluid the membranous labyrinth is suspended. Okay, so here in this figure also, see, this is the perilimb and this is also a perilimb. So in the third point, what we are remembering, that we are remembering in the third point that between bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth a fluid is there, and that fluid is known as perilimb. Now the fourth point. Now, inside the membranous labyrinth, what is present? So inside the membranous labyrinth, also a fluid is present. That fluid is known as endolymph. And endolymph, the composition of endolymph is similar to intracellular fluid, and this endolymph is having a relative high level of K plus, more number of K plus ions are present in endolymph. So over here in this figure, see, this is the cornea, okay, cross section of cornea they are showing over here. So this part is the bony labyrinth. This is inside, see, this portion is the membranous labyrinth, and here you can see the name written endolymph. So that means this fluid is endolymph. Okay, so here you see this fluid inside the membranous labyrinth is the endolymph. So this was the fourth point of our discussion. Now we are discussing fifth point. Now over here, see, the bony labyrinth is structurally and functionally partitioned into three distinct regions. We can divide bony labyrinth in three parts. Okay, one portion is known as cochlea, second part known as vestibule, and the third portion known as semicircular canal. So here on the screen, as you can see, this entire structure, okay, from outside part is the bony labyrinth, and here the names are written. See, this one, and this one, these three are semicircular canals. Okay, then here vestibule, okay, this portion, okay, this is the vestibule they are showing, and third, this entire portion, this is the cochlea they are showing. So bony labyrinth includes cochlea, vestibule, and semicircular canals. Okay, now the sixth point. Now cochlea, see over here, this entire structure is known as cochlea, and the shape of cochlea is similar to the animal snail. You might have seen the snail. So the cochlea look like the shell of snail. So cochlea meaning snail shell. Okay, cochlea means snail shell. Now inside the cochlea, membranous labyrinth is present, and this membranous labyrinth which is present inside the cochlea is known as cochlear duct, also known as scala media. So here you can see this entire structure is the cochlea, and this pink color portion, this pink color portion, okay, is the membranous labyrinth known as cochlear duct, or also known as scala media. Okay, so this is the sixth point of our discussion. Now we are discussing the seventh point. Now in the seventh point, we are discussing about vestibule. See over here, name is written vestibule. So what is vestibule? See, vestibulum, the term vestibule is derived from the word vestibulum. Vestibulum meaning entrance court. Now the component of vestibule. So vestibule contain two sac-like membranous labyrinth structure. So one structure is known as utricle. Utricle means leather bag. Okay, utricle, the original word uter, so leather bag. So from word uter, the term utricle is derived. And sacul, sacul means sacus. Okay, from the word sacus, the term sacul is derived. So sacus meaning sac. So here see vestibule. So one is sacul. So this one they are showing. Let me zoom this. This is this part. This is this portion. This is sacul, and this portion. This is utricle. So this is about the vestibule. Okay. Now one more figure. In this figure, see, in this figure they are showing vestibule. So this portion sacul, and this is this one utricle. Okay, so I am showing you this entire figure. Okay, so this one. Now semicircular canal. Okay, so for example this is anterior. Okay, anterior canal. This one is the posterior, and this one is the lateral semicircular canal. Now each semicircular canal inside contain a membranous labyrinth structure. This membranous labyrinth structure is known as semicircular duct. So this one is semicircular canal. So you can understand this figure as the green color part. You can understand that is the bony labyrinth portion, and the blue color portion. Okay, in this entire figure, the blue color you can understand it as a membranous labyrinth. So in the inside the semicircular canal, this blue color portion, okay, membranous labyrinth, is known as semicircular duct. Okay, so this is the semicircular duct, this one semicircular duct, this one semicircular duct. Okay, now the structure of membranous labyrinth are continuous. Okay, the structures of membranous labyrinth, they are connected with each other. Okay, for example, the cochlear duct is continuous with sacule. So here see cochlear duct. Okay, and this is the sacule. So we can see that this cochlear duct joins with the sacule. So we can say cochlear duct is continuous with the sacule. Now, sacule is connected with the utricle. Sacule connects with the utricle through a narrow passageway. So in the figure, see this portion is sacule, this is utricle, and they are connected. So this portion is the narrow passageway which is present between the sacule and the utricle. Now utricle is continuous with the semicircular duct. This is the utricle, and we can see utricle is continuous with the semicircular duct. Okay. So this is the ninth point of our discussion. Once again, I am showing you this entire figure. Now what is hearing? Okay. So hearing is our ability to detect and perceive sound. Okay, hearing means we can identify from which direction the sound is coming. Okay, we can understand that, and we are also having the understanding about the sound. What kind of sound it is? Is it a music? Nice song is playing, or it is the disturbance, or it is the noise. Okay, so we can understand, we can detect the sound, and we can perceive, we can understand the sound. So here now we follow the progression of how sound from the environment enters the ear. Okay, we know the pinna or the auricle direct the sound wave toward the tympanic membrane. Okay, then the sound wave, after the auditory ossicle vibrate, then the sound wave they are going to transmit it into the inner ear. Now in the inner ear the fluid is filled, inner ear is filled with the fluid, and now the pressure the wave which propagate in the fluid of the inner ear, that generates kind of pressure, and as the fluid inside the inner ear is pressurized, so this pressure is experienced by the receptor. With the receptor, sensory neuron are connected. This sensory neuron they will join and they will form the nerve, and the nerve will propagate the signal to our various brain center. And now when the nerve impulse when reach to various brain center, that time we realize, that time we hear the sound, that is the sensation of the sound we experience. Okay, so now we are moving forward. So we are discussing now the 11th point, structure of hearing. So hearing organs are housed within the cochlea. We know we are having two ear, left and right. So in left and right inner ear cochlea is there, and inside the cochlea hearing organs are present. In this figure, see here, this entire structure is the cochlea, and they have shown the section through the cochlea. Okay, so let me show you this entire figure. This way. See, figure 16.26, structure of the cochlea and spiral organ. So in this figure, see, this is the cochlea. So what is cochlea? See, cochlea is the snail-shaped spiral chamber. Okay, cochlea is snail-shaped spiral chamber within the bone of the inner ear. Now in the figure, it is shown that how this chamber of cochlea wraps approximately 2.5 times around a spongy bone axis. Okay, and this spongy bone axis is known as modulus. So in the figure, see this is the modulus, and around this modulus you can see the chamber the chamber of the cochlea wraps. Okay, so in the center you can see the modulus, and around the modulus the chamber of the cochlea wraps. Okay, क्या चाहिए बेटा तुला? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so in this point we have discussed about the modulus. Modulus is a spongy bone axis, and around this modulus the cochlear chamber wraps approximately 2.5 times. Okay, so due to this wrapping, the shape of cochlea look like snail shape. Okay, so this is the 12th point. Now point number 13. The membranous labyrinth called the cochlear duct is housed within the cochlea. Okay, so this is the cochlea, this entire structure cochlea, and inside membranous labyrinth is present. So this portion is membranous labyrinth, and this membranous labyrinth, okay, is known as cochlear duct. So here this portion is membranous labyrinth, this is known as cochlear duct. Now the roof of cochlear duct is formed by the vestibular membrane. So this square box they have zoomed for us. So once again, this is the for example, this is the membranous labyrinth portion, And this part, this membranous labyrinth, is known as cochlear duct. So the roof of cochlear duct, this cellular layer is known as vestibular membrane. Okay. And the floor is formed by basilar membrane. So this one is the floor, okay, and this floor is made up of basilar membrane. So let me show you this entire figure. Okay, observe this figure closely. Try to remember all the names. Okay. Okay. Now point number 14. See, the membranous partition, the bony labyrinth of the cochlea, these membranes, okay, which membrane we are talking about? So see, this membrane, this is vestibular membrane, and second membrane, basilar membrane. So what these two membranes are doing, this membrane, they are partitioning the bony labyrinth, they are dividing the bony labyrinth of the cochlea into two small chambers. For example, in this figure you can see this is, see this portion, this outer portion, as you can see the bone is there, okay. So this part is the bony part, so this bony portion is the bony labyrinth, and here this two membrane, one this membrane, second this membrane, vestibular membrane and the basilar membrane, what these two membranes are doing, so they are dividing the cochlea into two small chambers, this chamber and this chamber, and where these chambers are present, so they are located on either side of cochlear duct. So in the center, this is this blue color portion, okay, this portion is the cochlear duct, and on the either side, okay, the two chambers are present, and in both this chamber fluid is present. So chambers are filled with the fluid, and the fluid is known as perilymph. Okay, so here you can see perilymph. Okay. Now what are the names of this chamber? So the chamber adjacent to the vestibular membrane. See, this is the vestibular membrane. Okay, this one vestibular membrane, and this chamber is very close to vestibular membrane, so this chamber is known as scala vestibuli, okay, and the chamber adjacent to the basilar membrane is known as scala tympani. So this is the basilar membrane, and this chamber is close to basilar membrane, so this chamber is known as scala tympani, okay, also known as tympanic duct, and scala vestibuli, also known as vestibular duct, scala tympani, also known as tympanic duct. So this is point number 14. Now point number 15. Now see, scala vestibuli and scala tympani merge together, they join each other, and Both of them, they merge through a small channel, and this small channel, which joins scala vestibuli and scala tympani, is known as helicotrema. Helix meaning spiral, trema means hole. So where this helicotrema is present, so it is situated at the apex of the cochlea. So in the figure, let me show you this. See, here, this is the apex of cochlea, and apex of cochlea contains helicotrema. So point number 15, helicotrema. Point number 16, now we are discussing about the spiral organ. So this rectangle box here, this part is the spiral organ, and they have enlarged this rectangle box. So here, this entire figure, this entire box is showing us spiral organ, and this is the histological slide they are showing. Okay, spiral organ. So now we are discussing about the spiral organ. See, what is spiral organ? So protected within the membranous cochlear duct is the spiral organ. So where the spiral organ is located? Inside the membranous cochlear duct it is located. And earlier, formerly, this spiral organ was known as organ of Corti, but nowadays we know this as spiral organ. Now, what is this spiral organ? What is the role this spiral organ is playing? So, spiral organ is sensory structure responsible or involved in our hearing process. So, spiral organ. So let me show you this entire figure. Okay, once again we are looking at this. Okay, now point number 17 we are discussing. See, now what is there inside the cochlear duct? So in the cochlear duct, fluid is present, and that fluid is known as endolymph. So here, see, cochlear duct with the endolymph. So this is this part, this fluid is the endolymph. Okay. Now point number 18. First, let me show you this figure. Okay, so this figure is for cochlea and the spiral organ, also known as organ of Corti. Okay, so you see this figure. Okay, read all the names. Okay. Okay. Now what is spiral organ? What the spiral organ is made up of? So spiral organ is a thick sensory epithelium, and it consists In the spiral organ, hair cells are there and supporting cells are also present. So spiral organ, in the structure of spiral organ, hair cells are present, supporting cells are present, and both this type of cell, hair cell and supporting cell, they rest on the basilar membrane. They are present on the basilar membrane. So for example, this is the rectangle box. See, organ of Corti, name is written, spiral organ, and now here also they are showing the organ of Corti. This part is the basilar membrane. See, now name is written, and you will see two type of cell. One is hair cell. So these are the hair cell, and here also see inner, name is written, inner hair cell. So this is inner hair cell. Okay, then there are supporting cell, name is written, and these are all supporting, these are supporting cell. Okay, so point number 18. Now point number 19. Now there are two category of hair cell which are resting, which are present on basilar membrane, including single row of inner hair cell. So inner hair cell, they are arranged in a single row, in a single line, one after another, one after another, one by one by one by one. So they are forming a single row. Okay, so in the figure we have seen the inner hair cell and the function of inner hair cell. Inner hair cell function as the sensory receptor for hearing. Okay, so whatever the sound we listen, for that the inner hair cell, they are functioning as the receptor for the sound. Okay, and there are three rows of outer hair cell. And what is the function of this outer hair cell? So this outer hair cell alter the response of the spiral organ to sound. See, we experience, we listen, we come across various kind of sound. Okay, so for this various kind of sound, the response is different. So this response is changed by the outer hair cell. So outer hair cell alter the response of the spiral organ to the sound, so that we can differentiate at the same time, we can experience different sound. Okay, now point number 20. Now on the apical surface, apical means on the top surface of each hair cell. So top surface of the each hair cell is covered by numerous long stiff microvilli, and these microvilli are known as stereocilia. So this is in this figure, as you can see here the outer, these are the outer hair cell they are showing, and these are the microvilli on the top. Okay, so these microvilli are known as stereocilia. Now one long cilium is also present together with this stereocilia, and this long cilium is known as kinocilium. Okay, so in the figure I'm showing you this kinocilium. See, in this figure, okay, the hair cell. See, these are all microvilli known as stereocilia, and one long cilia known as kinocilium. Okay, so kinocilium and stereocilia. So once again, let me show you the theory point and the figure. So this is point number 20. This is the figure. Okay, see, enlargement of spiral organ of Corti. Now point number 21. See, stereocilia and kinocilium. In the figure I have shown you kinocilium. Both of them are embedded in the overlying gelatinous structure. Here in the figure you can see stereocilia, they are embedding in the gelatinous structure. So this gelatinous structure is known as tectorial membrane. Okay, tectus to cover. So in the point number 21, tectorial membrane, gelatinous structure. Now point number 22. This is the point number 22. See, extending from the base of the hair cell, for example, this is the hair cell they are showing. Okay, and from the hair cell, with the hair cell is attached, and this cell which attached to this inner hair cell are known as primary sensory neuron. So this yellow color cell, okay, this all yellow color cell are actually primary sensory neuron, and they make synapse with the hair cell. Over here also, in this figure also, outer hair cells are shown. These are all outer hair cell, and here you can see the primary sensory neuron, they are synapsing. So about 90%, see, primary sensory neuron, about 90% from the inner hair cell and about 10% from the outer hair cell. Okay, so once again, extending from the base of this hair cell are primary sensory neuron. 90% from inner hair cell and 10% are extended from outer hair cell. Now these are the neuron, that means they are having the fiber and the body or soma. So where the soma of this primary sensory neurons are present. So the cell body of this sensory neurons are housed within the spiral ganglia in the modulus. So we have already seen modulus, okay, in the cochlea, in the center modulus, and now see, primary sensory neuron, they are connected, they are making synapse with the hair cell, and their cell bodies are present within the spiral ganglia. So let me show you in this figure. See, these are all sensory neuron, and here the hair cells, and and their and their somas and their somas, and these are the fiber. Okay, over here fiber. Okay, both side fiber. Okay, and in this is the soma. So where the somas are present, so somas are housed within the spiral ganglion. Now after the spiral ganglion, what is happening? Okay, so one nerve is going to form, but before that, see, modulus, which is located medial to the cochlear duct, that we know. Okay, now what happened? This sensory neuron fiber sensor, see, simply what is happening, hair cell, they are making synapse with sensory neuron. Okay, so these are all fiber. Then here there is a somas, then again fiber, and all this fiber together, they are forming a nerve. Okay, so this is, you can see, cochlear branch of vestibulocochlear nerve, cranial nerve 8, and this will send nerve impulse to the brain center. Okay, and when the nerve impulse will reach to the brain center, that time we will hear the sound. Okay, so this is the point number 22. Okay, and this was the last point of our today's discussion. Let me show you this figure, both the figures. Okay, so see, section through one turn of the cochlea. So with this, we have completed this discussion on internal ear. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, and I also hope that this lecture will be helpful in your exam preparation and also in your studies. My name is Manish Kochi sir. I am from Ahmedabad, India. Bye bye. Namaste.